Hey, everybody. It is Peter and Sal here from Strong Healthy Women, and welcome to Talking Wellbeing TV, where we share hints, tips, and advice about the foundations of wellbeing. And today's topic is when more is less or less is more. And so I'm pretty excited to talk about this topic, Sal. One of the things I've been thinking about over the last couple of days is how often we don't progress forward, or we don't take that step to do whatever it is that we want to do, or we know that we want to do. And it's because it can feel totally overwhelming. So, for example, most of us probably know that we need to exercise, but then there's a large majority of us who don't exercise. And so what stops us from doing that? There's a couple of reasons, but I want to talk about how to think about it differently instead of being totally overwhelmed by the fact that there are so many components to exercising. So if you think about it, like the first thing is that you need to find the time. Look, quite honestly, I think that's the first area that we need to really address, because I think that we often think that when it comes to exercise that we have to do, an hour-long exercise session or a 30-minute exercise session. But the reality is that we could simply just go, well, I'm going to do 10 minutes, and that's going to be enough. It's better than what we're doing now. If we're doing nothing and then we start doing 10 minutes, then we've had a win. So that is when we're taking that less approach. So we're looking at it and we're bringing it down to the smallest component that we possibly can. So have you ever taken that type of approach to something, Sal, particularly when it comes to exercise?
Yes, I have. I think we have
Yeah. Do
ingrained
you want to tell us about that?
uh, I think we have ingrained in our mind that exercise should be for an hour, and that goes back to 20, 30 years ago when you'd go and do your aerobics
Yeah.
class or whatever that may be. Um,
Mm.
Now while I do you know uh, appointed exercise, I can't think of a word for it, but I do the 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there. If I can get in 50 squats, I'll get in 50 squats. If
Yeah.
I, when we're teaching our class, we get exercise in as well. And sometimes that may only be a
Mm.
set, but we're bringing it down to those smaller blocks, push-ups, those sort of
Mm.
things that we can do during the day at different times.
Yeah, totally. And so, so that's the first aspect of it. So we go, well, I don't have time, so therefore I'm not going to do it because I need to do this amount. So when we look at it and go, well, if I just go, well, I've got 5 minutes, I'm just going to do 5 minutes, then that's better than nothing at all. So, if, for example, we're going to the gym, then in our head, there's probably a million steps we're going through. Okay, number one, I've got to get out of bed. Number two, I've got to put my shoes on. Number three, I've got to get my clothes on. Number four, I've got to drive there. I've then got to, swipe in. I've got to scan in. I'm then going to, if I'm going to work afterwards, well, I've got to have packed up my clothes before I've got there. I'm then going to actually have to get my locker key, and then I'm going to have to put my clothes in the locker. And then they're probably going to fall off the hanger, and then they're going to get squashed. And so you're getting the general gist of this. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm eventually going to get out, and I'm eventually going to go and do this exercise session. And if it's 60 minutes, then I'm going to go and do that. Then I'm going to come out. Then I'm going to have a shower, and I'm going to show more of me than I probably want to show everybody else, or these unknown strangers. And then what I'm going to do is, then I'm going to have to put my makeup on. Then I'm going to have to dry my hair because I had to wash my hair because it was all sweaty. And then I'm going to have to put my clothes on. Then I'm going to have to drive to work, and whoa, I'm exhausted just thinking
You've
about
just
it.
given me anxiety thinking about it.
But it's true, isn't it?
It is
Like
true.
those are the types of things that will go through our head
Yes.
when we think we need to do exercise. And so what we're doing is we're giving ourselves every story imaginable of reasons that we just can't do it because we just can't find the time. Because we all know that time is the number one reason for us not to exercise. The second one is motivation.
Yeah.
And, motivation is a whole other story, but, I always call it the magical, mystical unicorn. Um, so, yeah, if you think about what it is that you're going to do and make it the simplest that you possibly can, this is when less becomes more. Because what happens is that when you get out and you go, I'm just going to do 5 minutes, then generally as a rule you end up doing more than 5 minutes. So this morning, yeah, I had come home from my walk, and then I will generally do my strength training afterwards. And so, but what happened was my car had to go in for a service this morning. So in my head, I had to plan for this. And I went, okay, well, I'm just going to do it after this live instead. So I'm just going to flip it around. But then what happened was Paul had to drive me there. And so it meant I needed to wait for him. And so I put my interval timer on for 5 minutes. And I said, if you're just putting the horses away and then you're having a shower, yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. So interval timer, 5 minutes. So I did, this 5 minutes of power, right? So it was a hit session. And then I looked and he wasn't down. So I put the next 5 minutes on, still wasn't down. By the time I put the third one on, he was actually in the house. By the time I put the fourth one on, he was actually showered and ready to go. So I just got a 20-minute hit session in incidentally because I went, okay, he's going to be 5 minutes rather than me starting something else. Exercise is such an important part of my daily life because if I don't exercise, I don't have the energy and the willpower and the coping tools that I need to do everything else in life. So if we don't take care of our bodies, then our bodies are not going to take care of us. So it is an absolute essential part of daily life. Exercise, it just is. And that's where we need to start thinking about stop, don't make it such a big thing. Just make it so tiny that you can't give yourself a reason to get out of it.
And can I just go back to what you just said? So before you were talking about the whole, getting out of bed and getting dressed and going to the gym and getting all your clothes together and
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
sort of stuff. Now you have done, admittedly, you're waiting for Paul, but you've done 20 minutes of exercise in your home. So you've just taken out everything. And if you look at it, it was a matter of getting out of bed and doing your 20 minutes of exercise.
Yeah.
There was no thinking about having to packing up to go to
Not
the
close.
gym. There was none of that anxiety
No.
about scanning in, where are my work clothes going to go, all that sort of stuff. So you can get up 20 minutes early, 10 minutes earlier, and just do that 10 minutes of exercise in your bedroom, in your jammies. I mean, hands up,
Oh,
how many of us
totally.
get out of our winter jammies in winter? I know I still do a few exercises in my jammies in winter. But yeah, so you've just taken out this whole aspect and it's boom, there in your lounge room that you've just done your workout.
Yeah, yeah, it's totally true. I mean, for a lot of us, we think that I've got to go to the gym to be motivated. Well, you don't. You
You don't.
honestly don't have to go to the gym to be motivated because if you're not going there now, then you're probably not going to go there
Go.
unless
Yeah.
something dramatic changes in your life. So
Yes.
that's where like home exercise totally rules as far as
Oh,
I'm concerned, because it takes out so many reasons that we give ourselves not to go and do it.
yes. And
Hmm.
ask yourself, when you go to the gym, what is there that makes you motivated? Because I can guarantee
Yeah,
whatever's in is you can find on the internet. You can find on YouTube. You can find with
yeah,
us, strong, healthy women, you
yeah,
you can get motivation there, and you're in your lounge room or in your studio, or we've seen some wonderful setups of home
yeah.
studios over the past months with COVID. Um, so there's no need to go to the gym to look for inspiration or to look for motivation.
No, that's right. And that's where it's creating that the habit of doing. So, and look, all of the successful people that are successful as far as their life is concerned, so it's not just about their body, they all exercise. It is part of their daily routine, and they all do it first thing in the morning. They don't wait, because exercise changes how you're feeling. It changes it immediately. So, I might get out of bed and I might feel, not like my vibrant self. So I might feel like a little bit blah. But I can guarantee that if I get out and I pound those streets, that the cat wants to get
Been
involved today.
overtaken.
Yeah. So if I get out on the street straight away, or, the mountain or wherever I head, or down the paddock, then I totally change how I feel. I totally am able to get my head in the right space as well too. So I use that as a warm up to do then a structured exercise session. But that's how I do it. And I think that look, if I made any recommendations, that is exactly what I would say to anybody to do. Use it as your warm up. So even if it's a 10-minute, a 15-minute walk, then what it does is it gives you that time, that thinking capacity to think about, okay, what are the actions that I'm going to take today? What are my intentions? What am I grateful for? So you get that opportunity to really connect with yourself for that 10, 15 minutes, or, maybe you'll go longer. And then what you do is you then go into your structured session, because we know that strength training is important. We know that flexibility training is important to the aging body. We're losing our strength from our 30s. So if we don't replace it, then we're going to be frail old women. We're losing our flexibility from puberty. So we won't be able to bend down and pick things up. We won't be as flexible as we need to be when we're, in our 90s or, 100. So I know that, for someone sitting in their 40s right now, you may not be thinking about, being 60 or being, 70 or 80 or beyond, but it comes around quick. It does come around quick.
It
And
does.
if we're feeling, yeah, and if we're feeling aches and pains right now, then those aches and pains, if we don't do something about them right now, then they are going to be worse when we get to that age.
Mhm.
So, so have you got any tips around this less concept, how to break it down even further? So,
Sorry. Sorry, I had a mind blank there. Um, when you were talking then about using your walk as your warm up and then going into structured exercise, I
yeah,
know one of our strong, healthy women ladies, Alison.
yeah,
So on her
yeah,
walks, she uses what's in the park benches, tricep dips. She does squats, so she
mm,
breaks her walk up into her strength workout as well. So
yeah,
if you're struggling with time, that's something you can do as well. if you're going to do your walk and then
Yeah.
come back and do structured exercise, when you go out of your gate or down your driveway, don't go your normal route. Go a
Yes.
different route.
Mm,
You go on
mm.
your normal route, that subconscious is going to say to you, okay, well, we normally walk this route for an hour, so we'll just keep going. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But if your issue is timed, go left. If your issue is timed, go left out your driveway, go in the opposite direction, time that for 10 minutes, come back and do your structured workout.
That's right.
And once again, it only needs to be 10 minutes. You've got done your walk, and then you can come back and do that strength training exercise as well. And the
Yeah.
other thing I just want to say too is think about, if you are starting to get your aches and pains, just remember that you don't have to live with aches and pains, because strength
No.
training helps with aches and pains. And we have seen it over and over and over again in our studio
Yeah.
with our ladies. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't let one of those aches and pains stop you from doing something, because if it's a knee issue, then you can still work other parts of your body. If it's a shoulder issue, you can still work other parts of your body. It's still possible to do some form of exercise, um, regardless of how you're feeling.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's how you embrace things as well too, and I suppose that comes down to a couple of things. I think it's a 3-step process. So ask yourself, what is it that you want? So if you want health and fitness, then be really specific about what that actually is and why that is important to you. There's no point writing down, I want good health and fitness. I mean, it's a
I want to be
start.
fit. What does that mean to you? I want to be
Yeah,
fit.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you need that purpose, that passion behind it. So when you have that passion behind it, then what happens is you're more likely to take action. So if you're just airy-fairy about why you want to do something, you're going to allow those stories that I just went through, all of those reasons, to actually stop you from doing it. You really want to fully connect and commit to it. The next part of it is that you need to put a plan around it. So what are the steps that you have to do in order to get there, to feel that way? And that's where we start then to come up with the stories. And so it's like, let me just dumb this down. Like, how can I make this the easiest I possibly can for myself to do this day in, day out? So it's not something you want to do, just for 28 days or 10 days or 5-day challenge. And we do all of these challenges, and that sort of like gets people started. But you need to then gain the momentum from that and keep pushing forward. So if you've uncovered before you start one of those challenges why this is really deep ingrained in you, then what's going to happen is you're going to keep moving forward. But always look at it not as the big thing. So if you say to yourself, what it is, I've got to lose, 20 kilos, that's just monumental. So we'll then going to go through all the stories of why it can't happen, but we can do it. And, I think about Oprah Winfrey, and everybody knows who Oprah is. And, everybody knows that she's had issues as far as her weight is concerned for years and years and years. And she's tried every diet, and she'll tell you this, she's written books about it. She's tried every diet under the sun. But she does it and then she reverts back. She does it and reverts back. She does it and reverts back. And it wasn't until she discovered, and so we do need to eat healthy. I'm going to say that straight up. But it wasn't until she discovered exercise and that real purpose and that real connection in her body that she really started to, be on that even keel, maintain things. Um, and, she did develop that morning routine of just doing it each and every day because her health was important to her.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I said, the eating healthy is definitely, what we need to do in order to achieve a goal if we want to lose some weight. But exercise is just something that we can all do right now that will lead us to our healthiest, our fittest life, will give us the energy that we need for life. And isn't that what we want? We
Yeah.
all want to feel energized. We all want to feel vibrant. We all want to feel engaged in the activities we love and enjoy. And, they could be wide and varying. They might be you want to play tennis, or you want to go kayaking, or you want to play golf, or you want to hike a mountain, or you want to go skiing, or, you want to do mountain biking. Who knows what it is? Or you want to simply just be able to pick up your grandkids. But that the underlying thing there is to be healthy, to be fit, and to cherish your body. And this is why no more stories, less is more. So
Mm-hmm.
what we do is we break it down to the smallest chunk you possibly can, and that's when you'll get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as you said,
Any final
if
thoughts?
if time is your issue and you're saying I don't have enough time, don't make
Yep.
it so difficult. As you said before, you're trying to bring it back
Yeah.
down to the easiest possible thing that you can do. So do that, and don't be afraid to do
Mm.
that. That's okay.
Yeah.
If you have a friend that goes to the gym for 2 hours every day, that's okay. That's her journey. Your journey
Yeah.
is that you don't have enough time, so you need to bring it back down, bring it back to those smallest bits that you
Yeah.
can do. And one
Yeah.
thing I do want to say is, Pete, you were just talking about eating healthy, but moving is, where you want to start. We have seen it over and over in the studio as well. Ladies come in and they will start with the exercise, but then it's, oh, okay, I want to start eating healthy. So
Mm.
it will generally follow. So just start with your exercise, start with
Yeah.
tiny little chunks during the day. When we're finished here, jump off, do 10 minutes of exercise, strength
Yeah.
training, running on the spot, jumping jacks, mountain climbers, whatever you want to do. You've done 10 minutes. You can re-listen to
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Yeah. Or jump into our free group, Women Over 50 Get Active and Healthy. And every Saturday or Sunday, I do exercise of the week. So you could go and, go have a look at all the exercises of the week that I've done. Pick three that, you go, okay, well, I can do those three exercises, and just, group those together. Or maybe even two. Just go, I'm going to do that one and I'm going to do that one. And I haven't got my phone here, but on your phone you can download a free interval um, timer.
Timer,
So there's
yes.
heaps of them. Yeah, yeah, you've probably got your phone there. And so what you do is you just, yeah, there you go. And so you just go, okay, I'm going to do 20 seconds on and I'm going to do 10 seconds of rest. I'm going to recover. So I'm going to give it everything I've got for 20 seconds and then I'm going to go to 10. And so, you do that 10 times over, there's 5 minutes done and dusted. Really, really simple process. Why do I like time workouts? I don't have to think about it. I don't have to count. And
Yeah.
so many times what we do is we do go to the counts, and that's okay. But if you're anything like me, I'll lose track of my counting and then I have to guess it.
Yes.
Whereas if
And the
I
other
time
thing,
it,
yeah. And the other thing too is with our counting, we like to be in that routine of I'm going to do this many sets and this many reps, and nothing gets
yeah,
changed up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's very true. And of course, the
Yeah.
same thing can happen with timed. We might very well go 20 seconds, 10, 20, 20, 10, you know, so we might do the same timing all the time. So it's important to do, you know, variation is another area. And we've talked about this before. So I'm just conscious of the time here, ladies. Look, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've got something out of today. So think about it. More is less, less is more. Um, so when you feel these stories creeping in, and look, I can tell you 1,000 stories, probably even more than that. We've heard them all. But the first thing is identify what you want, why you want it, and make the plan. And make the plan something you can do right now.
Now, yes.
So it's,
And
yeah, it's now.
don't make the plan in your head. Write it down.
Oh, absolutely. Write it down. Yeah, you're more likely to do it if you write it down. Yeah, totally
Yes.
so. All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining us today. We will be back on Friday for another topic. And as I said, come join us in Women Over 50, Get Active and Healthy, our free group. There's always something happening in there. And our challenge for this week will be going up in precisely 29 minutes.
Awesome.
So you can participate in that challenge if you like. Anyway, thanks for joining me today, Sal.
Sorry, Peter.
Are you going to say something?
I was just going to say something to the ladies. If you are searching for our exercise of the week and you are in the free group already, you can just go to the search bar in that group, type in exercise of the week, and it'll bring up all those exercises.
Yep. Or go to media videos.
There you go.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Nice and simple. All right.
Yes.
Good tip. Thanks, Sal. All
No
right,
worries.
ladies. Take care, everybody. See you
Bye,
soon. See you,
everybody.
Sal.
Have a great day. Bye, Peter.
You too. Bye.